So the after school program has had some interest in a Cricut machine, and I just wanted to show the difference between some of the machines so that we knew what was best to get for our program. In the olden days, which would have been several years ago, the older machines were run on Cricut cartridges, and that's where you had to buy each and every different cartridge. You had to look inside. There were little books that you had, and there were also cartridges that you had to stick inside each machine. And it was kind of a pain because if you needed a certain image, or if you had an idea in mind, you were very limited to what you could use to cut out. So these machines that are still out on the market, first of all, Cricut isn't even selling them, and second of all, these cartridges are kind of obsolete. So it's kind of like taking a tape recorder and the tapes, it's just, we're not using them anymore. So ever since then, Cricut has been updating their machines. So the one thing to realize with Cricut is that all machines have to run on DesignSpace. So that's something to think about when we're purchasing these machines for the staff, is we're gonna have to be knowledgeable in how DesignSpace works and how we use them with our computers. But I'll be honest, DesignSpace is super easy to figure out. If you can figure out how to do a Google slide, you can figure out how to do this DesignSpace. So that's something easy. Cricut offers several online classes that are free and available that just talks you through the whole process. And the creative ability that you have with DesignSpace is absolutely amazing. You can take any idea and any thought and make it come to life on paper with paper or vinyl or anything you want to make. The other question too is for teachers. Why would a teacher or anybody working in a school need a Cricut? And the possibilities are endless because you can use that Cricut to create amazing bulletin boards. You can take that Cricut to create items for your kids and art projects, and just make everything more vibrant and a lot more creative. So I'm going to show a difference between two machines that we can currently purchase, and I'm going to show you both machines, and so that decisions can be made to purchase the best machine for the after school program. The first machine is the Maker 3, and the Maker 3 this is a Maker, and the current machine is the Maker 3, and there's also an Explorer 2, and those are the current machines that Cricut has on the market. Now this is a good little machine. I have used this for years, and when I was in the classroom, this was my standby. I created a lot of great bulletin boards. I did a lot of great projects with this Cricut. Great little machine. I have had no problems with it breaking down, or just really thrilled with this machine. The only thing is though, with this machine, you're really, really limited. And with limited, what I mean by that is you are limited in size. So when you do your creating, you can create something that's 12 by 12, or they even had a longer mat that was kind of exciting at the time, where you could create something that was 12 by 24 and worked. It did really well, but I noticed when I was making things for like a class, you just have to sit there next to the machine and you have to keep feeding it in, and it takes time. So when the Venture came out, I was just really intrigued by it because it was sold for the fact that we could do more things, that bigger was better. And for a teacher, the Venture does offer some opportunities that the Cricut 3 does not offer. First of all, it has a really wide base. Now, what I like about the Cricut Venture is it's probably double the length of the Cricut Maker and Cricut Explorer, but it's a very slimline look. It does not take much space. So as you can see, it's about double what a Maker 3 would be, what a Maker or a Maker 3 would be. So it's not a lot more space, but what it can do is absolutely amazing. So I want to show you the difference in mats. So first of all, this is the mat for the Maker or for the Venture. So as you can already see the difference there between our 12 by 12 mat. This is the difference. So you can make something this big, or you can make something that big. And for teachers, that's absolutely incredible, because for bulletin boards, for making things in bulk, for vinyl cutouts that you want to put on the wall, you can do it with these mats. And another thing I wanted to show you is you can make things big. So if you can make things big. So if you have props you need to make, instead of making the little 12 by 12, you can make it as big as you want to make it. And so that's what's really cool. I've also found a way where you can cut out removable vinyl, and you can go ahead and use the letters on better than paper bulletin board paper, and you can make bulletin board paper. You can make bulletin boards that stay up all year, that you don't have to replace or change, because it has the vinyl on it with a better than paper bulletin board. At the end of the year, you roll it up and you're good to go. So you can use it over and over. I also want to show you with the Venture, you also are using smart materials. And what that means is a lot of the materials, if you purchase them, do not even require the mat. So smart materials are when you can just slide them right in the machine. And this one is 5 feet long. They have some that are 9 feet long. They have some that go 30 feet long. So what you can do is you can create this really long piece of work, and there's no limit to your imagination, and you just slide it on through and it keeps on cutting. They also offer smaller sizes that are only 12-inch that you can just slide through part of the machine as well. So it's considered a professional machine. It's considered a machine that's more commercial, and it's considered a machine that you can do things in bulk. So for a school situation, when you have teachers coming in and creating bulk papers or projects, it's just going to be a lot more doable for what they have in mind. The learning curve for the Cricut Venture and the Cricut Maker is about the same. So when I got the machine at first, I was a little intimidated by it, but within 10 to 15 minutes of going through the prompts that Cricut provided, it was pretty easy to pick up. And now it's like self-run. So if I want to make something, I don't even think. You just stick it in the machine, good to go. Some things you do need to factor in is it does run on tech. So you're going to need to have like a laptop or some kind piece of tech that can hook up to the Cricut Venture and is able to carry a DesignSpace. You pretty much have to have the same for the Cricut Maker as well. So that's something to check. A couple more things to know about the Cricut Venture. It also has materials that you need to have larger. Cricut puts out a larger size paper that's 12 by 28, and it's not too bad. They have it pretty barely priced. So it comes out to each sheet. When you pay it for full price, it's about $1.50 a sheet. But when you are hitting their sales, which seems to be quite frequently, they'll send you packs of paper, and it's about $1 a page, which cost effective. It's about similar to a little bit cheaper than the price of poster board. You can also use poster board in the machine. So, you can go to the closest Walmart and pick up a piece of poster board, it will fit right into your machine as well. So those are just some things to factor. The other thing about the Cricut Venture, and the Cricut Maker does this as well, is it does have a writing tool. So if you want to create posters, instead of just doing the photocopying and then enlarging, the marker will sit there and you can have it create anything you want to create. So like, it's a great day to be a bobcat. So just a couple ideas there. I know I have got it for personal use because you do a lot of t-shirts, a lot of bulk vinyl, but I am finding as each passing day goes, I'm using it more and more for our school library, for creating projects for all of our kiddos so that they have something hands-on, they have something that's special for them. And I also wanted to show, like if I was making spider webs, I'm only going to get 2 on the Maker. I plug it in here and I can just get a whole page, and it's super, super fast. So there is a price difference between the 2 machines. The big price difference, I would think, is time. So you're saving time when you have the Venture. You have a lot more creative opportunities to make things that are going to benefit our kids and benefit the after school program and benefit our building. And also, in the end, I think a lot more people are going to step up and want to use a tool such as this than taking the time to learn the Maker and then just taking the time to the extra time it's going to take to feed all those papers through. So I am going to show you how quick the Cricut Venture goes when I'm making some cutouts, and I'm also going to show you some different things that it can do for our after school program. Okay, so this is DesignSpace, and I wanted to show you how easy it is to use DesignSpace when you have a little idea and you want to make it in bulk. So I'm going to come over to my stuff, and I had wanted to do a tree branch with my classes because we're going to do finger paint and we're going to be making the trees in the fall. So I had already picked this image, and there were tons of images to choose from, and I'm going to go to make it. And I had already sized it for what I wanted. So I am going to click mat because I have my mat in the machine and ready to go. I'm going to pick 24 by 28 because that is the size of my mat, and I am going to click confirm. And what it does is it takes me to our prepared mat, and I can pretty much decide how many trees do I want. So I usually like to use every scrap of paper. So I am going to just click a number, and I'm going to hit apply. And I clicked 15. So obviously I have a one page that is going to get my cut started. Now I just want to take a look. So these tree trunks are, I was able to do, it looks like I was able to do 12 on one sheet. Now I could make those smaller, I could make those larger, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to make your choices, because obviously if I wanted more tree trunks, I would just, run another paper through. But this is 12. I'm going to go to continue, and it is connecting to my machine. So here we are, and these are our choices. There's all kinds of materials you can choose. I am using just a medium cardstock. So I'm going to click medium cardstock. And as you can see, when you look at the screen, it basically tells you with visuals, step by step, how to use the machine. That's what I love about Cricut. And so As I'm looking at, I'm using no extra tool. My blade is already in. I already have it set up on my lever. And these are things you really don't change very often. I have everything ready to go. I'm going to press the button. And if you can see, it takes a moment, and sometimes it looks like it's just kind of exciting to watch the machine work because my hands are off. It takes care of the mat. Make sure everything is ready to go. And then I just press go. And I want you to notice how fast this machine is. And this is a moment as a teacher, if I need to walk away and, check something, I don't have to stand right by the machine. So that's kind of nice. We already have 3 trees cut out. Going. Now by this time with the Maker or the Explorer, we would have probably only fit 2 trees per 12 by 12. So we would have had to stop. We would have had to feed the paper through. This one, we're still cutting. Remember, this is just $1 a page. Hands are off. And again, it's done. So even if I wasn't back at the machine, it's taking care of itself, which is kind of a nice feature. And I can either take that same page, I can make it again, so I get my 24, which is basically one class. So that's 5 minutes out of my professional day that it took me to cut these out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, next load if I wanted to continue making more, but I'm going to go ahead and cancel, and I'm going to go ahead and show you. All we do is we lift the lever, we slide it out, and I also want to show you this. I just take the edge, I peel it off gently. Love this part. I have my 12 trees, and then I'll just go through and I'll just pull them off, and they're good to go. So lots of great ideas, because this in the old days was this would have probably, I would have only gotten 1 tree on each mat. These are pretty good sized trees. So another thing is I can fill this. If I would have made them tiny, I could have done 40, I could have done 30. It's just the size of your product. So this is that bulk, being able to create things effortlessly with that bulk. So another thing we can do is we can go ahead and create anything that we want to put on a poster with, this is a drawing feature that our Venture does as well. We're using a marker in it, and I'm going to go over to Make It, and I'm going to show that we're using it on the mat, 24 by 28, confirm. and they're ahead. I can even move this just to make sure that we're completely right where I need to be on that mat. So when I make that poster, it's just right. And this is where the magic begins, because I'm going to continue. And again, I'm using medium cardstock. This is also a time you could use poster board or anything that would be appropriate. And again, I wanted to show you this. It tells you exactly what to do. I loaded the pen, no tool required in clamp B, and it shows me everything I need to do. I have never seen a machine that is so easy to run. So over here, I'm getting ready to go. I'm going to press my go button. There is a little bit of noise when you make the machine. Not too bad. And it's going ahead, it's measuring my mat length just to make sure that everything's good to go. And I am going to simply press go. And this is the fun part, is watching this machine make my whole poster. So cool to sit back and let the machine do all the work. Super fast. Another thing is they have several colors out on the market. They have red, green, blue, and black. I know Cricut, I'm sure they will have other colors in the very near future. Color is a lot more vibrant than when we take a copy and make it a larger copy. This is actually done in marker, so it really pops. The time here, I think, is under 5 minutes. It's a great day to be a bobcat. There we go. It's a great day to be a bobcat, and I simply just press done on my machine. It's all good to go. I lift the lever, and again, if I'm not here, if I have walked away from the machine, no big deal. I just lift the lever, slide it out. I have a great poster that kids can color in, that I can decorate. You can hang it right in the hallway, on a door. Great project where kids could work together, color it in, and we're good to go. Okay, so after looking at everything the Venture can do, the cost is a lot. It is a lot. But when you look at what this machine can do as compared to Cricut Maker or Explorer that would probably do best for a hobbyist or a crafter at home. The Venture really is a professional machine. It's a machine for commercial use, and it's also a machine that I feel would benefit the staff and students a little bit more based on the ability of the size, the bulk, and the time it saves in getting jobs done. Lots of trainings available online, but I also would be happy to help out in any way by providing staff with any help they need. And believe me, once they pick up on how to use the DesignSpace and running this machine, it will be very exciting to see what they can do. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm really passionate about this, and I'm excited for what it can bring our school district. Thank you.